Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Hello, Jean.
Hi.
Welcome. We're talking about Jean's book, Wake Up, Grow Up, Stop It. We've already gone through the first four lessons in chapter one. And now we're moving on to chapter two, to lessons number two. And the first thing that comes up here in this is fighting solves nothing.
Hmm.
It took my first, I took my first Afrikaans friend home when I was 23. My dad did not want her in our house. I told him she was my friend, regardless of the fact that she was Afrikaans.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, we read it in the book, but tell us more about the story.
Yeah, what you don't know, it's not just black on black, black on white racism or white on black racism. It's like a caste system, I suppose. The English-speaking people in South Africa during the apartheid years, well, certainly my family, believed they were better than the Afrikaner. Because the Afrikaner was oppressing 40 million people,
Yes,
not us. And that was wrong.
yeah,
So I grew up, the definition for me, in my later years, I discovered of racism is it's a biasness or prejudice from one ethnic group towards another ethnic group, of which the first ethnic group believes it's superior to.
yeah.
So us English were better than the Afrikaners, and we grew up like that. So we fought. We fought in the veld. We fought on the way to school. We packed our bags with bricks. We threw them at each other when we went home. We threw them on the way to school.
There's a lot of separation. There was a
Yeah,
lot of
absolutely.
subcultures, a lot of more superior than.
Yes.
I think that's what the Boer War was all about.
And
Eh?
I don't think, certainly in my home, the Boer War, my one friend educated me, not quite recently, but a couple of years ago, on the Boer War, because my father, they didn't come into his history. He always said he wouldn't let us do history at school because he said history is written by the side that wins.
Yes.
So I knew very little what happened to the Afrikaner in the Boer War. And that is why they arrived. So,
Yeah, it comes
yeah,
from that war, from that
yes,
time. Shame. And you started out by saying fighting solves nothing.
no. When you find something gets bigger, if I hit my colleague, if I hit you now, I don't know where these oaks from through this computer are going to come running to save you, but your neighbors will come if you scream.
Yes,
Okay. So it'll be a bigger fight.
it will
So
be.
fighting solves nothing. It doesn't solve a thing. Whatever you resist gets bigger.
Yeah,
So it doesn't
and
work to
it
resist.
explodes.
And
Fighting
it
obviously is just
explodes.
putting petrol on the fire.
Absolutely.
You know, there's no. But that's where we're going. The lesson is
Yes.
that we need to learn how to communicate. We
Yes.
need to be kind to each other. We
Yes.
need understanding. We need to
Stop blaming.
break down the subcultures and realize that who we are
Yes.
is probably all the same
We are.
underneath that
We are indeed.
the skin and bones, right?
Yep.
And just to discover that is quite a
Yes.
relief, eh?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So how do people get to, especially in a culture that has a lot of fighting in and a lot of history of war and fighting and hating, how do people overcome that?
Well, you see, for me, I mean, certainly from apartheid South Africa, and I'm old. Am I a racist? Well, I'd like to think I'm not, but I still have racist thoughts. If I'm walking down the pavement and three black guys are walking towards me, my mind is starting to say, hey, be careful. Be careful of what?
Yeah.
So when I became conscious enough to know that, I could stop that.
Mm.
Okay. The taxi drivers in South Africa appear to run South Africa.
Yeah.
So they to blame. When I realized that what I was doing, I managed to change that. So you've got to wake up enough to know that those racist thoughts are there, and they're there for our black brothers as well.
Yeah.
Here comes this white person. What are they going to say to me? It's the same type of thing.
Yeah.
The only difference is they don't believe they're better than us. We believe we're better than them, and that's because of the years and years of our system, which has changed a
Mm.
long time ago. I mean, we're sitting in a new world now, thank goodness.
Mm.
And me, I can even be nice
And
to my Afrikaans friends. And
and
I have,
it's yeah, it's
and I
not
have.
and it's not about now the other side saying, "Oh, we're better than you."
No, it
It's
shouldn't
about
be.
us coming together and
Yes,
realizing that we actually just want South Africa, one world, one
yes,
country, and we have to find ways to learn to live in harmony with each other.
and to talk about it.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's nothing wrong with talking about it as long as we don't fight about it.
No, I had an interesting episode at my kitchen table. A lady came and she brought her little daughter with her, and so they were black people, in inverted commas. And I happened to say to the little girl, I put my arm next to her arm. And I pointed at her arm and said, what color is that? And she looked at her arm and she said, it's black. My cell phone was laying on the table. So I pointed at my cell phone. I said, what color is that? She looked at it. She said, that's black. So I said, yeah, that's true. And what color is this? And I pointed to my own arm. And she said, that's white. I mean, does my arm look white? So there was a piece of paper on the table. I said to her, I pointed at the piece of paper. I said, well, what color is that? She said, that's white. So I said, then what color are these two arms? And she looked at her arms and a smile broke out on her face and she said, you're just a lighter shade of brown. So that lesson was her little lesson for the day. You know,
Yeah.
she's probably never going to call people black and white again.
No.
So we needed to talk about that. It was necessary.
And to laugh about it and realize that that belief system is just so ingrained in our head.
Ingrained.
And it's our work to just dismantle it.
Yes. Become conscious enough to know that you're even doing it. Not saying I'm not a racist. Nonsense. I don't agree with that at all.
Yes.
I'm not a racist, but is the statement.
Yeah.
We're mad, man.
Yeah. And following on from the lessons, I mean, you've got to start asking yourself, who am I? Finding a sense of purpose. And then that leads you into the space of being a little bit more kinder to yourself, kinder to people.
Yes.
And it's almost like a state of being when once you are kinder, there's no space to argue.
No.
There's no space for fighting.
I mean, we could call all religions, or whatever you want to call them, are going to tell you God first, whatever that is for you, yourself second, and your neighbor. You can't do anything to the neighbor until you love yourself.
Yes.
And you can't love yourself till you know who you are.
Yes.
And what got you to thinking that, believing that. So once you can do that, then it's easy to love the neighbor, even that one. So I don't know.
Yes, lovely.
But you have to become conscious to be able to do that. So wake up.
Wake up. Grow up.
And stop it.
Stop it. Well, it's been wonderful chatting. Lovely lesson. Fighting doesn't solve anything.
Doesn't solve a thing.
Find that peace within, look within, find it. And that's our lesson for today. Find the peace within.
Yes. And it's there. It's never gone.
That's who you are. Have a good day, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.